Have you ever wondered why you make so much but nothing to show for? You save a lot but nothing to account for it. Or you are the one that have money but you are so confused about investment so you don't even know how to go about it. Or you are the one that you really want to invest but you don't even have the money. If that sounds like you, then this video is for you. The concepts of business and investments have been made too complex that we thought that it's only made for the rich. However, most of us makes money, and the only genuine thing we can do with it if we don't want to spend it, the only satisfaction we gain from it is that we'll save it because we've been taught by our parents to save. So we take the money, we save it in the bank, undermining the fact that inflation catch up with those money we save in the bank. Analytically, it is said that inflation is currently 22.04%, which we know is not true, because a 10,000 naira that was saved in the bank last year, 2022, coming to this year, June 2023, cannot purchase the same item a 10,000 last year, a 10,000 naira last year can purchase. You need 3 or double of that 10,000 naira to purchase the same item, and yet they said inflation rate is 22.04%, which is not true. So saving money in the bank is good, but inflation rate catch up with it and the money loses its purchasing power. So the only way or the best way to hedge against inflation is through investment. And when it comes to investment, one have to be smart and wise about investing. So then, having said this, I'm going to look at questions that some persons have asked me about investment. I'll just look at one and I'm going to see how I'm going to dissect that one to the best of our understanding. Just come with me. The first and only question I'll be dissecting in this episode is, what do I invest? Now, this is a common question among people that they have cash underutilized. They feel, okay, I've been hearing of investment, let me say I can multiply that stuff. So the first question that comes to their mind is, what do I invest in? What do I invest in? But then I won't answer that question first. I will first of all answer the question, when not to invest. When you understand when not to invest, it guides you and show you how you can invest and what to invest in. Number 1, when not to invest. Don't invest when you don't understand the business in question. There are lots of persons that would come and introduce some business investment to you because they feel you have the money, or possibly you've asked them that you told them you want to invest before now. However, don't invest where you don't understand the business. There are a lot of scams out there. There are a lot of get rich quick scheme out there. So it's important that you don't invest until you understand the business in question. That is going to give you an edge over your investment. Number 2, don't invest because of the fear of missing out. Now, it is important that you don't invest because you are scared of missing out. Invest because of the fear of being left out, because in most cases you'll be investing out of emotion. You are investing because you are scared of not being part of those that will be posting screenshots. You are scared of missing out of the profits. You are scared of missing out in the opportunity to move with the big gang. You are afraid that this is a one-time opportunity and it's going to pass you by and entice you unnecessarily. Instead, ask the person to teach you. Come, sit down. How do you make this money? How did the company generate this fund? Where is the money coming from? Where are they investing this fund we are putting? This money we are sending to them, how is it multiply? How do they multiply? Ask questions. Don't just put in your fund because your brother has put in his fund and you've seen him cash out. Your sister has cashed out. Your friend has cashed out, and you are not thinking straight at this time. You are not making research. You are not asking questions. You just carry your hard-earned money and drop it into the investment because you don't want to be left out. You're seeing them posting screenshots. Do your due diligence. They tell them, okay, you know what, this thing is just going to last for 5 days, or it's going to last for just today. This is the last day, and because of that, you are so emotional. Your logic at that point is shut down. They start showing you screenshots, they start showing your account balance, they start showing you details and stories and testimonies, and before you know, your account has been flushed. So don't invest because of the fear of being left out. Number 3, don't invest in what you cannot control. Now I'm not saying you should have 100% control over your capital, but then the whole essence for you to invest at the first place is that you want to increase your capital. Then if you are losing your capital in the place of investment, then the whole purpose of that investment is abuse. So number 1 rule for investment you should always bear in mind is that your capital must be protected, and there are certain measures you must put in place to ensure that you are able to do that. If you are not able to control the business, in terms of if you don't have a form of control over the business or investment, you won't be able to protect your capital. I'll be giving you a few tips on how you can have some form of control over your investment. Number 1 is know why you invest and know what you invest in. Know why you invest and know what you are investing in. It is very important that you do your due diligence. You make proper research, understanding why are you investing in this business? Why are you investing in this business? And what kind of business are you investing in? Now, all these things you should understand. Number 2 is that you should set specific investment goals. Now, this would help you control your capital. You should know when to sell, when to buy. You have a certain goals that, okay, if my business hits this party, if my investment hits this certain amount, I'm going to sell off. Or if I make this certain money, I will draw 10%, or I'll be putting a certain percentage of money in this investment every month to increase it. So even though you are experiencing little setback, you know that your target is to actually achieve a certain amount in your target is to set a certain amount in your portfolio. As far as this investment is concerned, you must have a specific investment goal. It helps you to control the investments. Number three tip is that focus on what you can control. Focus only on events that you know is within your ability to control. Number 4, create a daily feedback system. If it's a business you are invested in, it's important that you create a daily feedback system, as it will give you an idea of how you are performing and the needed area to make certain adjustments. And if you do this effectively, you have some measure of control over your business and investments. Second thing I want to talk about here is I don't have money, but I really want to invest. How do I invest? So this is second thing I want to talk about here. I don't have money, but I really want to invest. How do I start? Or what do I do? Invest in yourself. Don't just sit down there and wait for one man, be waiting for one manna to fall down. That is why you see lots of people falling for Ponzi scheme. That is why you see lots of people falling for Ponzi scheme and all these scam businesses and stuff. Because why? They don't invest in themselves, and they are too mentally lazy. They are too mentally lazy to actually do research, to carry out research. They are too carried away by what is said to them. They don't question the dominant form of thinking. They don't question the lay down They don't question the regular form of thinking, because if Mr. A is into it, then I should be doing it. Then it's so funny how people think that, okay, because this multitude of people are doing this thing, they cannot go wrong. This number of people cannot go wrong. So because of that, they shut down their logic, they shut down their brain. They don't do research, right? They just jump into that investment. So number one is that you must invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Read book that will give you an edge financially. Read book on finance. Read book on business, right? If you cannot read book, ask questions, right? Ask questions from your friend that are into business, that are into investments. Sit them down, take them out to eatery, sit them and ask them questions. Ask them question. How do you do it? How do I start? How do I go about it? How do I go about it? Ask question. In doing that, while you are learning. That is the whole essence. You are learning. That's the first thing you want to do. Second thing you want to do is that you invest in relationship. I told a friend this thing some time ago, and it was actually a wow one, seriously. Now I told him that always make people feel indebted to you. It is very important. That is one way you invest in relationship. Don't always make people feel like you owe them. They've done something for you, or they favored you, they keep on favoring you. That is why people see some persons as parasites, because this set of people always draw or collect from them. No, don't position yourself as that. In as much as you don't have, find a way to make him feel indebted to you. It is very important. Always bring people in your relationship, in your good book, such that they feel indebted to you. Always find a way to do something to them that they cannot repay. And if they want to repay you, just tell them to don't bother about it. Don't be a parasite. Don't be the one that always want to collect, making them feel like, oh, my condition now I don't have, making them feel pity. They will start running away from you. Find a way to make them feel indebted to you. Make them always feel like they owe you one. Find a way to do something to them. Find a way to contribute your quota in their life. Find a way to surprise them. Find a way to serve them, such that if they want to repay you, tell them not to bother. Tell them to forget about it. That is because relationship. Always do something that will make them feel like, oh, I owe this guy. Oh, this guy is so good. Oh, to make them feel like they are indebted to you and they want to repay you. But then you are, don't worry. Don't just forget about I can take care of myself. Do you know what you are doing? You are actually building their emotional bank towards you. The day you have a need for them, they will show up anywhere. The day you have a need for them, they will show up anywhere, because you've always made them feel that, wow, I have to do something for this boy. I have to do something for this girl. You've always made them feel like they are indebted to you. They owe you. Wow, you placed them in that position. And you don't need money to do all these things. You just need good character. I applied the same principle years ago, where I worked with a white woman, and while we were working, I was like her PA, right? So we go for one place. She wanted to establish her business. That was years back, right? That was over 6 to 7 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So she wanted to start her own business in Nigeria. So I was like her PA. I went to do survey for her, bought all the product, did analysis of all the product, did market analysis of all the product, did competitive analysis, did everything for the business. She wasn't paying me a dime, and I wasn't asking for a dime. I was working my ass as one, because I had passion for what I was doing. I had passion for business. I had passion for business test and startup, right? So I was doing what I love doing, though, but I wasn't saying because I was doing this for her that she should pay me. Okay, so we're together, but then the business didn't work out because the company in China that was to start producing the goods messed up, so it didn't actually work out. Then we start planning for another business that she wanted to be manufacturing in Nigeria. So I did a whole lot of stuff, but somehow it didn't work out. Then she got a job in a multinational company, and when this company came to Nigeria, they messed with her. Since she is a white person in Nigeria, they needed somebody that understood Nigeria Nigeria business system. Then they called her. She sat with the owner of the company. Do you know the first person in her mind to call? It was 6-7 years ago. I was the first person I was called on to, and I sat down with the owner of this company with herself, and they brought the product, and I start analyzing the product, start analyzing what will be the pricing, the price structure, how much we can afford this. Then we start going to different states to confirm how much they can buy. I achieved that by making her feel indebted to me. I did things to her that made her feel like, oh, I owe this boy a lot, I owe this guy a lot, I owe this guy a lot, and I have to find a way to repay that. You see that now? So always invest in people, always. And don't be in a haste to withdraw your investments. Don't say, oh, because I've done this thing, so you might have to. Now, this is a mindset of some people, and that is why they are not going far. They feel because they have actually done something to some person, or because they've done something good to someone, that they must receive their reward immediately. And the next thing they're asking, how much are you going to pay me? How much are you going to pay me? How much are you going to pay me? Because they feel they've done something that warrant a form of payment, and that is why they are so limited. Because moment these categories of relationship, especially those in the place of influence, moments you do something for them and you always want to request for the payment or the reward for what you've done for them, and somehow they give it to you. Listen, in their mind, they know they are not owing you. They've paid you for your service, and that is it. Saying that you shouldn't get the reward for your service. What I'm saying is, find a way to make them feel indebted, like they owe you one. Like, it could be through extra service, it could be through getting them gifts, it could be by offering value whenever you are around them. Ensure you do something that leave good impression in their emotional bank. Do that constantly. That is how you invest in relationship. Number three is invest in service. Do your work to the best of your ability. Whatever your hand find doing, do it well. Do it with every sense of excellence. Ensure you deliver on time, you deliver quality service, and with respect. It goes a long way to sharpen your skill, getting you prepared for the future, and also for more recommendations. So lastly, I want to talk about what to invest. What to invest in. Now, this, first of all, invest in yourself. That is very important. You must definitely first invest in your knowledge of investment before you invest in any business. That is key. I don't want to overemphasize on that. Number 2 is invest in assets. Get out of cash and invest in assets. It is very important you get out of cash and invest in assets. Don't be carried away with the lots of money you are making, possibly where you are working, you are being paid well, and you are making good money and stuff, and you are just saving the money. I said something earlier. Inflation is catching up real fast with saved cash. Real fast we save money, and don't feel because you have money in the bank, the money is always there lounging and stuff. The truth is that when you withdraw that money from the bank, you find out that the money is somehow worthless, because the purchasing power of the money when you save it is not the same value it's holding when you want to spend it. And the only way to actually hedge against inflation is putting that money in a business or any form of investment. I won't be listing all these things now. I won't be listing all the investments you go into now. I won't be listing the assets you can go into now, because that is entirely another discussion. So I won't be going into that conversation in this episode. I can trace that in other episode, but then I want to close this episode now, right? So the next thing you have to consider on what to invest is that you must invest in tested and approved system. You must invest in system that had been tested, this system that is working. It is important. You must have that at the back of your mind. And there are ways you know system that is working. System that is working, you know system that is working by the founders. Who are the founder of this business? Who are the founder of this product? Who are the founder of this business? It is important, right? You understand that, right? Who are the founder of this business? When was it founded? What is its structure? How does it work? Right? What had been its monthly turnover? What is the market potential of this business? Right? All these things are what you should look at. And if at all you have to invest in your personal business, maybe you want to start a certain business, okay, you want to invest in that business, you have a certain business you might want to invest in, you must first of all understand that you must have a trusted and a working system. It's important. And I forgot something, I'll just mention this here. Don't make a mistake to use borrowed money to invest in Virgin Idea. I don't want to miss out this because this is important. I've seen several persons make this mistake, possibly because they have access to one loan, to one uncle that have money or the other. Don't waste your relationship. Ensure that that business you want to invest in, you want to use borrowed money to invest in, is business that you've tested. You've made 10,000, you've made 5,000 from it. You've done it for like 6 months, and you've made consistent cash flow of maybe 2,000 naira every day or 5,000 naira every week. You've made consistent cash flow of some certain amount of money from that business. Then you can now say, fine, I want to collect this XYZ amount, I want to borrow this XYZ amount from my uncle to expound the business. Now you've seen that the business have a working system already. You just want to increase the capital in order to increase the cash flow, or you can choose to get loan, knowing that okay, with what is coming, I can use like 10% of what is coming to be paying back the loan every month. So you can do your number, you can add your number together and say, okay, fine, if I'm making this XYZ amount now, if I collect loan and increase the capital, I know that I'm going to have XYZ money coming in. You've tested the system, it is working. You just want to expound this. So mistake people make is you see them not doing anything, and when you ask them what are you not doing, they will tell you that wow, I want to start a business, I'm waiting for capital. And if somehow they gain access to the capital, they will realize they don't have any business they want to do. They will realize they are just confused. They will realize they are just lazy. And some will go out of their way to still push in borrowed money into a virgin idea. An idea that had not been tested, and that is not tested, not trusted, based on hypotheses, facts that is not verified and valid. And you borrow money, you invest in it. At the end of the day, you start running helter-skelter, right? Looking for how to pay, borrow, and every other thing. Then we're wrapping this up here and continue in our next series. Until then, do listen and gain wisdom. I remain your host, Onyechi Chukwudi. Thank you and bye.